Earnings season. You know the feeling, right? It hits and it's just chaos. A total storm of headlines, crazy price swings, and a lot of snap decisions. But what if it didn't have to be like that? We're going to break down exactly how you can turn all that chaos into a calm, controlled, and most importantly, repeatable process.
And that's really the core idea here, isn't it? This isn't about having a crystal ball or trying to predict the future. Nope. It's about being so well prepared that you already know what you're going to do, no matter what the report says. It's about shifting from just reacting to everything to acting with real intention.
So the big question is, how do you actually do that? Well, the answer isn't some secret stock tip or a super complex algorithm. It's actually a pretty simple but really robust framework that puts you back in the driver's seat. Here's our roadmap. It's a 4-part playbook. We're going to start by building what I call a prep card. Then we'll create a catalyst timeline, design a post-earnings playbook, and then wrap it all up with a clear action plan. You ready? Let's dive in. Okay, part 1. This is the absolute foundation of the whole system. Think of it as a single, one-page guide that holds all the essential info. It's designed to be your objective anchor when emotions are running high and things get a little crazy. All right, first things first, we just gather the objective data. We start with the absolute basics. When is the report? What time? Then, and this part is absolutely crucial, we're going to identify the 3 core drivers of the business. After that, we jot down what Wall Street expects and what the company itself said it was expecting last quarter. All of it, right there on one page.
So what exactly is a driver? It's not some fuzzy marketing slogan from the website. A driver is a real, measurable number that directly affects how much cash the company is bringing in. You know, things like user growth, profit margins, or maybe revenue per customer. These are the actual gears that make the business engine run. And speaking of cash, one of the most important drivers you'll ever find is often free cash flow, or FCF. This is kind of like the bottom line of the bottom line. It's the real, actual cash the business has left over after it's paid all the bills and invested in its own growth. It tells you a ton about a company's actual health.
Okay, now that we have the facts in hand, we can start to frame our expectations. And the way we do this is by outlining 3 distinct scenarios: a base case for what we think is most likely, a bull case for a really impressive result, and a bear case for a result that would be pretty disappointing. And this is where it gets really powerful. Look at this example for a made-up company, Cloudco. We're not just guessing here. We are putting hard numbers on each scenario. A bear case isn't just a vague feeling of, oh, that's bad. No, it's specifically defined as revenue growth below 8% and margins under 28%. That kind of clarity is what gives you control. Now, this might be the single most important step in the entire process. Before the numbers even come out, you decide exactly what you will do. You create these super simple if-then statements, like, if the bear case happens, then I will reduce my position. It's like making a contract with your future self, so you don't make emotional decisions later. And this contrast really gets to the heart of what we're doing. On one side, you have the old way, reacting impulsively to a scary headline or a big price swing. On the other side, you have the new way, calmly executing a plan that you made when you were thinking clearly. It's the difference between being a passenger and being the pilot. Now look, an earnings report is just one data point in time. To get the full picture, we need our next tool, the catalyst timeline. This helps us look forward and anticipate the other key events that could shape the company's story over the next 90 days or so.
So what's a catalyst? It's basically any future event that could meaningfully change the story. It could be a new product launch that everyone's waiting for, a big investor day presentation, or a key ruling from a regulator. These are the future signposts that we need to have on our radar. So for our company, Cloudco, we can see they've got a conference appearance coming up, a product launch window, and a regulatory deadline on the horizon. Just by mapping these out, you create this sort of no surprises radar for the next quarter. It gives you so much crucial context beyond just this one earnings report. Okay, so the numbers are out. You used your prep card, you executed your if-then plan. But the process isn't over yet. What you do next is what makes you smarter for the quarter after that and the one after that. The very first rule is the simplest. Wait 24 hours. Seriously, unless your absolute thesis breaker was hit, you do nothing for one full day. This gives the market's knee-jerk reaction time to fade, and it gives you time to actually stop and think. After that 24-hour cooldown period, it's time for a debrief. You ask yourself these simple questions to understand what really happened, and more importantly, to get better for next time.
What surprised me? Did a core driver change? This debrief is how your knowledge compounds over time. It's so important.
All right, we've covered a ton of ground. So let's pull this all together into a final, simple action plan that you can literally start using today. Here it is. This is your checklist for calm, controlled earnings preparation. If you can honestly check off every single one of these boxes before a company reports, you've officially replaced anxiety with a process. You are prepared. And that's really what this all boils down to. You don't need a crystal ball. You just need a process. A well-defined plan that you create when you are thinking clearly will always, always beat an emotional reaction in the heat of the moment. Your preparation is your edge.
So here's your first step. I want you to think of one company you follow, just one. What is its single most important driver? The one number that truly matters most. If you can nail that down, that's your first big move from chaos to control.